Hi, it's Dr. Owers. Today I'm going to speak about the elephant in the room. So you might know that I produced a series of videos, the first ones back in April and May, where I was talking about keeping your immune system healthy during these times. And then I went into some more detailed videos subsequent to that, sometime in June and July, about insulin resistance, dietary choices, the pros and cons of exercise and how you can look at that. But never once did I talk about weight loss. The reason being is that if your goal is weight loss and you use it as your source of motivation too early on, and that's all you focus on, you'll experience one of three things. And I'll use the acronym GIF, not the social media one, but GIF, G for goals, I for imbalance, and F for frustration. So use that acronym to remember the things that could happen to you, if not one of them, maybe all of them, if you get into having weight loss as your sole reason, your sole gauge of how your outcome goes too early on in this whole process. So the frustration comes about, you probably heard this from many people, they've done huge effort and gotten very little gain from a weight loss point of view. Or they've got weight loss, but it didn't last very long. So frustration, and that plays a lot into your own mindset, into your own motivation overall. And to do something that frustrates you over and over and over again is not very useful. Imbalance. So perhaps you embark on certain efforts, your weight loss is your sole goal, and your only way to gauge whether or not you're succeeding or not. And so therefore you push yourself and you get somewhere, but you start to feel dizzy or a little bit off, or your energy's low, or you're irritable, or you don't feel like you're yourself, or worse still, you unmask an underlying medical condition that comes to a crisis because it hasn't been checked. So there's imbalances that can occur if you address weight loss as your sole goal too early on in this process without a full understanding. And then the last one is goals, insurmountable goals. So people, when they get onto these weight loss programs, a lot of it involves a lot of exercise. And I have a video out there on the pros and cons of exercise and seeing what over-exercise looks like and examples. So I'll refer you to those. But in this program, often you have calorie counting and you have exercises that are supposed to burn fat. The thing is, however, is that when you do exercise, you don't burn fat, you burn calories. And there's a difference. What's the difference? A calorie is the unit of measure of exchange that your body, gives up to fulfill the effort that you're asking it to do. So you're jogging on a treadmill, you need X number of calories over X number of minutes. That's what your body gives up. But where does it get those calories from? It is not necessarily fat. So therefore, running on that treadmill, 7 days a week, and then going to do a fitness class at night, another 7 days a week, you're not necessarily burning fat at all. And that's where people can get into an insurmountable goal when all they look at is weight loss as their way of gauging, right? So the idea that in North America and in affluential countries in general, and this is a broad statement, and I know that there's going to be exceptions, but generally speaking, we run on insulin because with affluence comes the availability of carbs. Carbs of all sorts are, in fast food or everywhere in affluential countries, and by default, a lot of those carbs are sugar. And that means that your system runs on insulin because insulin is the mediator of sugar ingestion and sugar transport throughout the body. When this occurs, your cells tend to go through a process called downregulation. When sugar is being bombarded, very regularly, it downregulates the receptors. That means they're not as sensitive. That means your body is saying insulin's not doing its job, and therefore promotes hunger and cravings for, guess what, more sugary carb type substances. And this comes on board, but then the insulin is being pumped out to a receptor that's not really there anymore, or in much smaller quantities. That's what insulin resistance is all about. And that vicious cycle continues and is counterproductive to most healthy processes in the body, can be inflammatory promoting. Therefore, brings your body into a state where it's preserving itself because things are not going so well. And being a part of the mammalian group of animals, you store fat. And when you have a problem, a perceived problem, you continue to store fat. So I did touch upon this before in other videos, and I think that it's important that we remember that the average person has about 100,000 calories stored as fat and has about 1,700 calories stored as sugar. And it would be beneficial to you to switch your body from the insulin, or running your body on the insulin system, to running your body on the ketosis system. And a ketone is neither a fat or a sugar or a carb. It's something in between. It is the product of fat metabolism. And this is what I've been speaking about in terms of getting healthier, promoting a healthier system. And if you do it with the supplements already discussed and a few extra ones, you are going to be able to transform your body, and you will stop chasing the image of your body, and through simply eliciting what I call the wisdom of the body to flow, your body will come to you, and sometimes in ways much better than you could ever have imagined. So I hope this is helpful. I'm going to continue to give videos like this a bit more in depth for food choices and reasons why this is such an important thing to do.